Welcome everybody to the Chatter After Daily. I am your host. I took over today. This is all me. I am Didge, but I did also bring in my usual cast of characters with me. Starting with you, Jamie. Jamie, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's been kind of I don't know, a weird day for me personally. So I'm glad Did just taking the reins on this one. He's got it. He's
You
gonna
know
take
it.
care of us.
I'm glad that you're here, even though it's been a weird day. It's gonna kind of be a weird stream. Well, you are also here with us. How are you today?
I am doing very good. How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
I'm good.
It's been it
Yep.
wasn't a good holiday week last week. I know we
Right.
streamed Monday, but everybody
Mhm.
got the chance to enjoy time with their families. Have a good break. I hope you guys got a chance to relax. I know Jamie, I think you went home, so that was always good. I'm sure.
Yeah, that was nice. We went and saw the Hunger Games, the new Hunger Games movie. I
How was
liked
that?
it, but I
Okay,
also was like, there was a lot going on. I feel like almost too much going on.
fair. As someone who's never seen any of the Hunger Games, I couldn't tell you
None
anything.
of them?
So never seen
Wow.
anyone. I was supposed to.
Dang.
We were gonna rewatch them leading into this, and then that just never happened. So I just never
Oh,
watched them.
were we gonna do
Yeah,
that?
I remember Mike and I were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll join you guys." And I never saw anything,
Um,
so I just never watched.
might be
It's
possible.
still on my agenda.
Oh,
I'll
you
get
haven't seen
there.
it?
I haven't seen the new one, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new
Hey.
one, I have to look and see what the runtime was, but I feel like I was there forever. Like I've seen this hands almost whole entire life, even though
I
I
I
mean,
know
this
President
is.
Snow's in the original series as well, but
Hmm.
that was wild.
I know I saw you post in the Discord about how it was too long, and I was like, "Let's go." She understands. So
But I would say that's Digit's life, though. Everything's too long.
that's not all. Everything's not too long.
I think the Marvels is the only movie I think he did not complain about the length of.
Says 2 hours and 38. Yep,
Oh
I
God,
felt
yeah,
that.
that's
Oh,
way
that
too
is
long.
long. Yeah.
I felt that.
No, to be fair, we were just talking about this on our podcast that Napoleon was the first movie I saw that was actually long in a long time. That I was just like, you know what? All right, whatever. And I think it was just because of the spectacle of it all. Like that
It
movie was a
happens.
complete spectacle. So I
Hmm.
was just like, I was too amused, I think, to realize the runtime.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I did
So
that with Oppenheimer. It was long as hell, but you
it
know what?
was, it was.
I was
Mm,
thoroughly entertained.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
It's
you
long.
definitely should watch it. It's very
Yeah,
long.
it's like
Luckily, you will not be in theaters.
Be
I saw
warned.
Barbie in like late August, early September, something like that. So I was behind on that.
Uh,
I need to catch up.
That's fair. I saw Barbie. I got dragged to go see Barbie, so I saw that
Art
early.
was good though.
It was, but I wasn't anticipating to go see it in the beginning.
Me neither. Not
Yeah,
not
me
when it first
neither,
got
honestly.
announced.
Yeah, when it first got announced, I was like, why would I go see this? Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, but
That
So
was good.
I
yeah.
agree. I do agree. It was really good. Let's get into some not so fun news and talk about
No,
the Scream 7.
no.
I don't know what Deuces is talking about. We're going to ignore that. Let's talk about this not so fun news in Scream 7 with Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera both not returning. Seemingly for different reasons. I don't know if I agree that they're with different reasons. Melissa Barrera was fired for her pro-Palestine takes. Just a lot of social media posts that are pro no genocide, pro ceasefire. Obviously with everything that is going on in the Middle East currently. And the day after that happened, Jenna Ortega was it was announced that Jenna Ortega is not coming back. They said due to scheduling, but sort of the timing is really fishy. And just knowing that she is very pro Palestine, very no to genocide, no to everything that is going on over there. Um,
Who's
it,
pro
it seems
genocide?
like, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, but it seems
Crazy.
like it's fishy timing to say that it's fully because of the timing with Wednesday, and I think it was also Beetlejuice too. But Joel, we'll go to you first. How do you take this? Like, what is this impact on how much you want to see Scream 7 going forward?
Um, I'll start by saying I was shocked by the news, by both, even though one leading into the other wasn't that shocking after you hear what happened to Melissa.
Yeah.
Um, but I enjoyed the last Scream movie and
Hmm.
the last two, which they were very big parts of. They were leads of those movies. And I'm not a big. I was already done with Scream by then, so for the fact that I enjoyed those movies going into them, even though I was kind of done with the franchise already by
Fair.
then. I like the fact that I still enjoyed them, and I was looking forward to seeing where they took this next one because I thoroughly enjoyed that last one. I love that they took it somewhere different, so I was all right. Let's see if they can spice it up again because they're obviously going to do another one, and obviously that now is being derailed a little bit, but that doesn't mean the movie can't keep going. It's just now they have to go in a different direction, and it kind of ended. It could end that way. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really need to, the way it ended. You don't necessarily need to go back to that well, but I will miss them because I thought they did a really good job. And it is sad. This is really big topic lately in Hollywood, especially between pro and this and pro that or anti this and anti that. Um, I don't. It's a very tedious time
Hmm.
to speak your voice on most things a lot of times now these days. So it sucks, but I don't know if this will be permanent for and not maybe not for this movie, but I think they'll be fine
Sure.
work wise. But I think the Scream franchise maybe it's probably for the best. Maybe they were rushing into it a little too quickly anyway. I say things work out like that for a reason, and I still look forward to seeing what they do with Scream if they plan on continuing with Seven without them, which it
Sure.
seems like
Sure.
they are. You know,
Yeah, I mean, to that point, there have been talks regarding Nev Campbell's return,
yeah,
which she left in a very tumultuous way. So
right,
it's interesting to see how consistently there are issues when it comes to the next screen. Obviously, there were contract issues last time. There are political and just sort of social issues this time, and it's almost like there's just a lot to deal with this franchise. Jamie, did you see Scream? I know you're
No.
not a huge horror fan. It seems like so.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I'm like slowly getting my way into it. I'm actually kind of like sneak peek into like the what are we watching that we always tentatively add at the end. But I've actually kind of like took a deep dive into the Fall of the House of Usher.
oh,
I don't
nice.
know why it's my like airplane watch show. I don't
you fly a
know.
lot.
I mean, the past couple weeks, yeah, the holidays, I'll probably be flying out again. But yeah, it's been like the show that I watched on the airplane, and it's like I'll download a few episodes of that, a few episodes of like some anime or something, and I'll just end up sticking with the Fall of the House of Usher. Now, granted, the last night while I was alone in my apartment, I kept hearing things, and the building was like shaking just because of the wind, which doesn't help.
That's
um,
terrifying.
so I'm probably gonna take a break from watching the show for a moment for that reason. Horror to me, like I like horror stories that are, I guess, just generally interesting. Not something that's always like trying to go for a cheap scare or a jump scare or anything like that, which I feel like a lot of horror kind of does.
Right.
And that's why like I'm not really super attracted to the genre because I don't particularly enjoy being scared. Um, but unfortunately for me, it's like those stories that tend to get like grab you and get like really deep into the details are also some of the most like terrifying. So yeah, I guess to put it in the long answer in a short format, I have not seen Scream. I don't know if I really plan on seeing Scream, but definitely after the way that some of these cast members have been treated, it's kind of putting things into perspective for me as far as where this should be on my watch list.
Yeah, that's very fair. I know. I see Mike in the comments saying that he doesn't like horror, but he loves Scream.
Hmm.
And there is a lot of people who I think they go that route because to Trayvon's point, Scream is a lot of horror and comedy together. And just looking at the lay of the land, there were a lot of people who kind of just felt a little bit betrayed by sort of the routes that have been going on here. Personally, I probably won't watch Scream 7. That did leave an extremely bad taste in my mouth. Just in regards to however you felt regarding the situation as a whole, to just draw that hard of a line, especially given the comments that we saw. It screamed very weird not to use that in that way. So it's gonna be an interesting path forward to sort of see where they're going with it, and to see, will Nev Campbell return? What will happen with some of the other returning castmates? I know the director, he was already talking on Twitter about how much all of this sucked. So it's just, everything's gonna just be really interesting moving forward. I think that's like sort of just the best way to put it, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's definitely. I don't know. It's just been a very surprisingly tumultuous time in Hollywood too, which, I mean, without even just looking at the recent end of the strikes and everything, but yeah, it's just been very weird and unfortunate reaction to what's happening in the Middle East.
Yes, definitely. Mike, right, or straight out, cancel this movie. I mean, depending on what happens, it could come to that, where, to Joel's point, they come back to the drawing board eventually. But for, I think it's supposed to come out next year or maybe even 2025. It could be tough for it to do that because production basically had to restart. So, like I said, it's a lot. I wanted to talk about that first, get all of the sad news out of the way, especially because I think this next story is something that we can all be happy about. We have our casting of Jimmy Olsen and Eve. I never know how to pronounce. Is it Tessmacher? I never know how to pronounce her last name.
Yeah, Tessmacher.
Okay, great.
One of us knew how to say it.
I butchered that every single time. But Superman Legacy, the upcoming film from James Gunn and the upcoming DC Universe, has cast their Jimmy Olsen, with Skylar Gisondo playing him, and Sarah Sampaio is playing Eve Tessmacher. What happened to Joel? Whoa. I
don't know. I think
he was the biggest DC fan here. I was going to ask him immediately. Jamie, we'll go to you first. How excited are you about these castings? And what does this mean for you for the entire Superman movie as a whole? It seems like castings have been coming beat after beat, especially since the strike has ended.
Yeah, I mean, for me in particular, I said this before, I'll probably say it a billion times, but the castings for me, I never really dig too deep into it. I generally trust the casting director and the director as far as why they chose X or Y person. So I'm excited to see some of these faces. I know Skylar's familiar. He was in something I saw recently. I can't think of it. But also weirdly, the first time that I came to New York this year, I feel like I saw him at the airport. It was very weird. It was super strange. I'm like, I don't know. This guy looks so familiar.
Did you watch The Righteous Gemstones recently? Because I know him from that and Santa Clarita Diet. Those are the two I know him the most from.
I like that show. The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah. I have to look and see, and maybe
that's where I know him from.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, these castings, they are coming incredibly quickly, which is, I guess it should be really good as far as the movie should come out
July 11th of 2025.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
yep. That would be
cool.
I
guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you figure filming most of next year.
This is probably January, I think they start.
Yeah, even better.
So they're already starting at a good pace. And I guess as far as just looking into the future of the DCU, it's just DCU now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All these damn acronyms. But I'm excited to have this kind of be the start of the DCU or the DCU. I really enjoyed My Adventures with Superman, and some of the things I've read said the movie will be something similar to that, or kind of akin to that project. So yeah, I'm just excited. These castings will never get me oh my god, they put this person or that person in there. But just to see the pace that they're going with this, with okay, we're gonna lock these people down, gonna let these people know hey, this is going to be some of the faces that we'll see next year or in 2 years is really exciting.
So before I go to Joel, I did want, because you weren't here with us last Monday when we talked about Nicholas Holt's casting, and it kind of goes right against what you just said. But I did want to know, how did you think of him becoming Lex? I know that was something that we were all very excited about last week.
Yeah.
So I was just
No
curious
problem.
if you had any, hesitations, or if you are equally excited as us.
No, I mean, I'm a little bit more familiar with Nicholas Hoult. I feel like I've seen him play like a wide range of characters, and especially some villain characters or villain-like characters. So I'm excited for him to be Lex. I'm kind of sad if he has to shave his head. I'm like,
I mean, I'm sure he's going to.
I mean, what if we don't though? What if we don't?
No,
That'd be weird. I don't know if I need a Lex that at least again.
I've already seen one. I'm good. Like,
yeah.
Oh, come on,
let's
y'all.
not do
Come
this
on.
again.
But no, I'm excited for him. I think that this is like a great pick for Lex. I think wasn't he trying to be Superman?
He tried to be so many
He was
heroes.
a finalist for Superman and Batman.
Damn! Wow.
An origin story.
Well,
he has the hate.
He got in where he could get in. Maybe he'll like. I don't know. I have no idea what he's gonna do, especially because James Gunn was saying that he wants all the actors to portray the same characters across like the whole spectrum with like video games, animation, all of that kind of stuff. Which I really don't know how that's going to work out. Especially not even just thinking about like booking the actors for live action roles, but just like displacing the actors from all of the other roles that he's going to be trying to do is very interesting. We'll see what happens with that.
Fair, I get that.
But yeah, I'm happy.
That's good, Joe. That's actually the route I wanted to go with you. Jamie brought up a good point. These actors are going to be pinned to be not only the voice actors, they're going to be, I would presume, the video game mocap, if anything. I know that seems to be the route that they go with.
They might not be the actual like performance artists, but they'll
for sure be the voice actor.
Yeah, they'll be the voice, and sometimes there's like a little bit of overlap, but they usually have somebody who's like doing the performance, and then every once in a while the voice actor will step in to perform something.
Okay, fair.
It depends on what's going on.
Maybe that's a separate agreement when they get
right.
Like if you want to do mocap, that's on you. I mean, but we only need your voice. It's one of those things.
I get that, but yeah, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. And to add in, how soon do you want a Superman game now?
I mean, man, I've been wanting a Superman game for a long time. It's about damn time. I've been gliding around a lot lately. It's Spider-Man. It's Zelda. I'm like, I kind of want to fly. And I think Superman, it's overdue at this point. So if they could pull that off at some point, I'd be very happy, with or without Corn Sweat as the voice. I just want a Superman game. Please, because that's like the only character missing. Like of my top 5 superheroes, he's the only one that hasn't had a game in like forever. His own game, not talking about like Injustice shit. But like, that's it. So I'm really excited if that's the route they go, which it seems that they're going to do. I'm cool with that. When it comes to the castings, you already know about my opinions on Lex,
right?
But Jimmy and Eve. Interesting. First of all, I had a feeling Jimmy was coming. It was just a matter of time. I was just waiting for it. And then that wasn't exactly a shocker because that rumor was out there,
right,
around that he was already, Skylar Gisondo will be Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, bro, if you had to pick a guy out of a lineup that says that guy looks like Jimmy, Skylar's that guy. So at the very least, he casted so far on the nose with Jimmy Olsen. Eve Tessmacher, I was not expecting Eve because I mostly know her from the movies, the old movies.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the Discord about it not being Mercy.
Right, and I'm more used to Mercy from the cartoons and the comics.
Yeah.
Not to say that Eve, again, it's just an assistant. That's
right. Fair.
It's just on the play off. I doubt her role is super big, but it's just he also kind of uses her in the comics. At least he likes to use her as kind of his punching bag verbally because he needs someone to let out his aggression. Like he's upset, so he calls her to come over and fix it. Like
Oh
basically,
damn. Mm.
um, he's one of those. Well, at least that's how he. Well, I don't know how he's gonna do in this movie, but that's usually how it is with Eve. She'll come in and try to cheer him up, shit like that. But yeah, I'm very surprised by both. Cool. I'm very happy. I know there's more coming. I do get very excited for casting, even if I don't
Right.
recognize the actor. Just because I'm like, all right, well, visually, can I see it? Because if I don't know your work, then it's like I can only go by the way you look, and I know how usually the comic book character looks. So I'm like, okay, I can see it visually. I can see it. Now I gotta encompass it. You know what I mean?
So with that in mind, can you obviously we already know you can visually see Skylar. Can you visually see Sarah as Eve?
Why not? That's my first.
I just wanted to know. I mean, we're gonna go.
It's one of those things where like she's gonna attractive assistant. You nailed it. That's what she is.
All right,
She is
fair
what
enough.
she is. There's not much depth. Maybe they give her more depth, but as of right now, that's kind of what she is, and at least on surface level. I know they did some stuff with her in Supergirl and stuff like that where you can layer it out, but for the most part, that she's just his attractive assistant. That's basically what it is.
So yeah, I mean, at this point, we've rounded out a pretty decent cast for Superman Legacy. We have so many characters. I want to bring back a conversation that we had a few weeks ago, and talk about who we think we're missing. Like we know we floated around the Sam Lane missing.
Right.
I said Lana Lang, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how much Metropolis versus Smallville there's going to be. Like,
right.
I'm really interested in where this is headed, because this is a world where superheroes already exist, from what James Gunn has said.
Just based on the casting.
I was just gonna say, based on the casting, we know for sure that there are superheroes who existed, but it seems like the casting characters of superheroes that he's picking, they're not your heavy hitters, I guess, so to speak.
They're not, and they're not Superman characters for the most part. They're not Superman supporting cast is what I'm saying.
Fair.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Ma Pa Perry. I think that seems like the easiest bet.
Matter of fact, he said that a lot of Daily Planet staff should be there. Remember we were talking about that. Right. So Cat Grant, and there's a Steve. I forgot his last name.
Oh my God, you're right. I forgot his name. the sports.
Yeah, is it Lombard?
Lombard, yeah, Lombard.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, he's a sports guy. And then you got Jor-El, I'm assuming, might have a role in this. And like, again, that's probably the bulk of like the rest that's coming, and probably some will have more than others in terms of speaking roles. But that's probably the crux of it. Martha, so you got Ma Kent, Pa Kent, Perry White, maybe of course Cat Grant and Steve Lombard.
Right.
And that's really it. We got the bulk of it right now after that.
Yeah, I mean
they could, like you said, they could go Lana Lang, but I don't see where she fits right now. Not in this movie.
I don't know how much of Smallville is going to be in it. That's where I guess that's where I was thinking, like, if they're going, it's not an origin story. So how much of his past is going to pop up? And if none of that's popping up, then it doesn't matter.
We're getting up and running. It seems like he's gonna be at least Superman for at least. I think what I heard he might be there for. He's been Superman for at least a year or something like that. So he's not. He's Superman, but he's not Superman that the all most popular superhero in the world, Superman yet. Like he's still kind of new to the game, but he's been around, but he's not been around that long. That seems where they're going with Superman.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's see where. I mean, if he's saying that they're finishing up, I can't imagine there's too many more, and maybe Brainiac, because we've heard Brainiac might be the villain.
Yes.
So that's probably the next big one. Is who ends up being Brainiac? If that's the case, because the Sam Lane rumor turned out to be kind of a dud because he came out and said that's not true. That doesn't mean Sam.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So Sam Lane might still be in the movie, but we don't. probably not gonna be worker.
It might not be enough where it's like you need to know right away or anything.
It might not be a regular worker like we thought. So who knows? I mean, we still have a couple. But well, I'm pretty much sure we'll know everything by January. But
yeah, especially if you are correct in that filming is starting in January or even February.
Right.
Obviously, they're probably taking a holiday break. It seems like Hollywood shuts down December.
Oh yeah, even
right
earlier
after
than that, honestly.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who is left to be cast and who else they tap to be in it. It feels like they've had an interesting mix of big names and names that are up and coming.
Right.
So I would like if they continue to go that way, especially in the converse of some of the Marvel castings that we've gotten recently, where it's just been huge name, huge name, huge name. I love always seeing new stars be built.
No, I agree. And this is very young star type. There's not a lot of big names in this cast. Maybe we'll get one more. I think the biggest name might be Nicholas Hoult. To be fair.
Yeah, I think so. Depends on how you feel about Nathan Fillion, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's a known name, but he's not super big right now.
Fair.
Like, he's famous, but he's not like a star. I think Nicholas Hoult is still like can probably mainline a movie. I don't think Nathan can anymore, or else he would have been Nathan Drake years ago.
That's
you know what I mean? So I think I know, I love it. It sucks, but so I wouldn't be surprised if one of these castings is a bigger name, like the Kents or Perry White.
I mean, Mike just jumped off a cliff with his big name. he just free dove. Like,
that's a big one. Wow.
Somewhere Trayvon's punching the air by seeing that.
Don't start.
So let's actually stick in the realm of comic books then and talk about some of the new information that we got with Agatha. Darkhold Diary still the name first off? Like, this name seems to change every week. I want to make sure we got it right.
Yeah.
I guess, as far as I know.
All right, cool. So we got a little bit of information. It's still rumored at this point, I think. But it seems like at the very beginning of Agatha, she's still going to very much be under Scarlet Witch's spell. She'll be a detective, Agnes, trying to investigate a case, but it seems like it's supposed to be her trying to get her way out of the spell. How do you feel about this? I was kind of hoping, if we're being honest, that this started off very much like a telling some of the time before we even got to Westview. So, Joel, what are you thinking?
I don't. It's not fair for me because I kind of knew a lot about it.
Did you?
Yeah, not a lot, but I knew a lot of what was coming, more or less, and everything seems to be lining up. So I'm not sure how much of it, what that I know is actually
fair,
but I've heard a lot about it.
Look at you, Mr. Insider Knowledge. Tell us all your insider knowledge.
I don't want to spoil anything.
I mean, right now everything's rumored. We need to hype this show up more. I'm excited for it, but apparently Trayvon doesn't feel we're excited enough.
Well, I'm probably not as excited as Trayvon, but
no one's ever excited as Trayvon.
For sure. I am excited though, especially with the look that we just got. I think. Well, here's the thing with most projects that I'm not excited for. It's not about the character necessarily. Like, I wasn't super excited for Loki when it first got announced, or WandaVision. But if you introduce new characters and plot points that I know from like things I recognize, I'll get on board. If you tell a good story, at the end of the day, I'll be on board. But like with Agatha, I'm not excited about Agatha. I'm cool, whatever. Fuck, I don't give a shit. But they're introducing new characters that I know and I recognize, and some plot points from stories that might lead to other things that I'm like, I'm excited. That excites me, and I enjoyed Catherine Hahn's work as Agatha. On top of that, and then Aubrey Plaza got cast, and that's a really good cast. So I'm like, I'm intrigued. Like, I see a lot of there's a lot of potential in this show. It's just a matter of what story they're trying to tell. Now, this thing that you're saying about the whole detective thing, that seems interesting to me. I don't know exactly what the fuck they're trying to pull off here, but WandaVision was also kind of a mindfuck. So I'm down for whatever they want to sell it. You know, the way they're going to sell it to us.
Yeah. So to finish that part out, apparently the whole thing is her and her ex Rio Vidal, which is Aubrey Plaza's character. They're supposed to be trying to solve this murder mystery, but the murder mystery is really I guess a guise for her trying to break her way out of the spell.
Okay.
I don't know how
Mm.
much that goes beyond the first episode, or if that's just like the overall season plot.
Is
Not
that
gonna
the is
lie,
that
it
the
sounds interesting.
is that the they're still living that lie though, right? Basically,
So it sounds
that's
like for
why I'm
sure Agatha is. I don't know
okay.
if Rio is.
Okay, because I know there's probably more to Rio's character, even though it's another
Sure.
character. You know, and there's gonna be other witches from the comics that show up in this apparently. So I'm
Mhm.
looking out for like other known characters like that might pop up. So I'm looking forward to. There's gonna be characters from the last show that still live in town. I guess they'll be popping up. Um, so it's that kind, and I look forward to seeing if the rumors are true about the boy being,
Yeah,
um,
that was the other thing. To your point, and Jamie, I wanted to get to you to gauge your interest on this plot point and just the series as a whole. Um, there are a lot of interesting people and people who I like to support that are going to be in it. Like you said, Catherine Hahn, her performance was amazing. I love Aubrey Plaza. Shashir Zamata is going to be in it. I love seeing that she's getting more roles. I'm interested. I don't know much about Joe Locke is other than what was that shows on Netflix? I can't remember it, but he was good in it. Heartstopper.
Uh,
So he was good in that. It was a show I didn't think it's one of those things I just throw on Netflix sort of as I'm doing other stuff. But I was like, oh, okay. A lot of
mhm.
these people are interested in it, are interesting in it. So it's a show where I'm not as much caring about the plot initially. I just hope that the people who I enjoy watching are doing well. And when I see the trailer, that's when I can judge whether or not I'm going to be in it for the plot or not, or if it's like I got to kind of power through to support the people I want to support. But Jamie,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on this? How do you are you excited for Agatha?
Right now I'm kind of in the middle. Like I just want to have like a trailer or something drop at this point, even though I feel like we might be a ways out from actually seeing the show, but it feels
Doesn't
like
even have a
there's
release date set, so yeah, we are for sure.
it feels like there's so much conversation around it and like people being able to get like the set photos and things like that. Or at this point I'm like, I don't think I want to see any more cuz I think it might like spoil some of the fun. Kind of like I guess relating it back to some games from this past year, Final Fantasy 16, I feel like they showed way too much of the game, even though it turned out to be like very small in the grand scheme of things. But I feel like I just knew way too much from like, okay, guys, like you're like kind of losing me a little bit. Like leave some of the mystery for me to figure out. Um, and so that's kind of where I'm not really getting with Agatha because again we don't know much, but it's always just like people always constantly talking, but like what are we actually talking about though? So in that regard, I'm like, you know what? Let's just wait for a trailer or something and then we can actually have like a real conversation because for right now it's all like all imaginative. But as far as I didn't know anything about like the plot that you had just described, Didge and Joel. So I'm actually really interested in like kind of the murder mystery slash I guess just general mystery aspect of it. I really like kind of mystery plots and being able to like kind of put the pieces together.
Mhm.
Um so I would prefer we put those pieces together when they're actually given to us. So I would like to wait for that. But outside of that, I actually kind of brought back some of my interest talking about at least the what we think will be the premise of the show. So I'm interested.
To what Mike just said, I was actually going to bring up a lot of the stuff. At first, it seemed like it was just sort of rumors, but they did just release an entire featurette on it.
I didn't
I
see
don't know
that
if you
yet.
got a chance. Okay, so
No.
there, never mind.
I
Um,
dropped it in the chat,
Jamie
Oh,
was been in and out throughout, so
the
yeah.
movie
um,
chat, the movie chat.
yeah.
Movie
But
chat.
overall, it seems like they're starting to give us a little bit more.
Oh.
So maybe a trailer is closer than we think. I know. Um, I think it's still set to a late 2024 release.
Fall.
So
Yeah.
yeah, probably fall. So maybe we get something around the time when Echo comes out just to start. But I mean, at the worst case, con season is going to be here before you know it.
It always
Mhm.
seems like
Let's
the
be honest.
Disney Plus shows seem to be getting. They get trailer. We get trailers for the motherfuckers late as hell for some reason.
That
They
is
never.
also that is
They
also
never
true.
drop it. For some reason, they always wait till like the month out, like to drop something. Maybe like we just got the Echo trailer like a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it drops in January.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to come out at the end of December, I think, at one point. So now it just moved back to January.
So do you think they pushed up What If instead? Because What If
Yeah,
is what
What if
22nd.
was supposed to come out a while ago
there's a lot. I mean,
though?
all these shows are
I've
supposed to
been
come out a while.
waiting.
So.
I saw that first episode 2 years. Well, was it 1 year ago on some change?
Yeah,
It happens, you
a
know.
lot of these shows. Yeah,
Things take time. They
They
probably went
do.
back to
And
the
the
drawing
strike,
board.
the strike
yeah,
messes things up as well.
yeah.
That's also
Between
true.
You
COVID and the
know.
strike, a lot of shit got messed up.
Yeah, Hollywood hasn't really been normal since like 2019. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That is true. That also at the same time, I guess kind of playing devil's advocate, I'm not getting any younger.
Well,
I'm
no,
just
none
gonna
of us
get
are.
more
I
and
mean,
more busy
you
as time
must.
goes on. So like the longer these things take
If
to come
I
out,
could be
sometimes it's just
patient at
like,
my age, you
I was
can be
gonna say,
patient
Jamie,
at
you
your
are the
age.
youngest of all three of us here.
I mean,
I don't know if you can
listen,
use that card.
it's the truth.
That is,
I'm just saying.
shit,
I they show
graduated
us
high
these
school.
things, and they have this set plan, and I'm like, okay, I'm one that's like, if I make a spreadsheet, I'm sticking to the spreadsheet. We're gonna do this thing, and due to unforeseen circumstances that I can't
It's
control,
not always that simple. Yeah.
it's
You
been
are a
all over the
video game
place.
fan.
Right.
Video
Yeah.
games get announced. There's a game that got announced in 2018 that they said recently that it's going to be 6 years still more of a development.
What game was that?
Was it
what,
Fable?
Wonder Woman? Oh, Fable. Wait, did they say it was? I
Was
don't
it-
think they said. No,
I'm
they
almost
didn't.
positive it was Fable.
No, I feel
there's
like no.
always something GTA 6.
It was
I'm
something else.
waiting
No,
for
not
that.
GTA 6 either.
No,
Actually,
GTA
speaking
6,
of,
we're supposed to be
we're
getting.
supposed to hear about that like next week
Yeah,
or maybe 2 weeks.
I'm almost
Um,
positive it was Fable.
Fable 2. Fable been out there forever.
Nah,
But
not
Baldur's Gate 3,
Fable. Fable's
21
been
years later. So
in the works for a while, but it should be coming out next year, I would think.
It
At
was.
least.
It was for sure. It was either Fable or Elder
Probably.
Scroll. I'm leaning towards Elder
I
Scroll
mean,
now.
Elder
Now that I
Scrolls,
think about
who
it,
knows what's happening with that?
now that I think about it, I'm leaning towards that. But either way, the point is, you are a video game fan, a
Right,
stan, if I must.
right.
And games take forever to be announced
They
and
do.
then to come out.
Mhm.
I'm really interested in the fact that you are having this stance for movies when your
I
beloved
think
games do the same.
It's just,
Or worse.
it's kind of like,
Or worse, for sure.
Mhm.
it's kind of like, the thing that you like or the person that you like, you're willing to be a little bit more patient with.
Yeah, it goes back
Not
to
that
this again.
Not that I don't enjoy TV and movies, but I
Caught in
definitely
4K.
gain a lot more enjoyment from playing games, and I'm like literally investing like sometimes days or weeks of my life into a game. So it feels like, waiting so long for like that payoff feels, I guess, a little bit more worth it versus like I might spend 2 hours in the theater. Maybe movies kind of trend to be a little bit shorter ish.
No, they don't. Movies are forever.
No, I feel like usually a movie would be like an hour 30 ish. Usually.
We can
Normal
hope.
movies.
If we can hope.
Normal movies. Superhero movies go at least mostly 2
Most superhero movies.
Mostly.
That's why we were so shocked that the Marvels was hour 45.
Sure,
because
yeah.
most superhero movies are 2:15 plus.
At least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially
But
these
yeah,
days.
I'm just a little bit more patient with those kinds of things. I guess because it's weird because I know the process for both. But I really sympathize with these developers and like the development hell and all this other things.
And that's fair.
Movies and TV definitely also go through that. But it all, I don't know.
We just had
I guess
strikes
to me
because they were
it's painted more as like a rosy
strikes.
picture. And the strikes, yeah, and the strikes as well. There probably will be some strikes in the game industries within
mean,
the next year or so too. So
Yeah.
There kind of needs to be, if we're being honest.
there definitely does. But yeah, I'm a bit more patient with those things just because like they already take so long anyway. So I was like, I'm woman screaming at sky for what, you know?
That's fair. I get you. Let's talk one more comic book movie topic before we get into the realm of other stuff. The Avengers movies have a new writer. I don't know if he was already
He
pinned
was
for
already Secret
one.
Wars. Yeah.
He was already Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Well, now Mark Waldron will be writing both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. And this is interesting on two folds. One, sounds like Marvel is sticking with the Kang storyline. I know obviously we've had
Yeah, I was about to
reports
say.
that they were going to pivot to Doom. And two, just one, we actually have a writer for both now. If you don't know Mark Waldron, he was the writer for Multiverse of Madness, as well as the creator of Loki.
The program creator, yes.
Yeah, sorry, the program creator of Loki. Yeah. Very interesting distinction.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I was trying to figure that out myself, to be honest.
It's not a showrunner apparently because they haven't used that until now. They haven't used that.
Right.
So what happens is someone creates the idea for the show, and then the writers take over. Then they kind of either are hands-on or hands-off. And he started off hands-on and kind of completely fell off.
Okay.
So it just got taken over by someone else for most of it. But his idea was that probably. It was probably his initial idea that spawned Loki, and they took it from there. And like the director, an actual movie director, took over or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how things work out because there's definitely more to it than I can even explain. But they've definitely. Now they're doubling back to using more traditional TV show ways of doing things with showrunners and book and show bibles and stuff like that.
By the way, before we jump in, Jamie, I noticed you did not refute Mike's statement. Sounds like you hate movies is very much confirmed.
No, y'all know I don't hate movies. Y'all know I don't hate movies. I didn't acknowledge it because I assumed it was like, he's just trying to poke the bear, but the bear is hibernating.
All right, fair enough. I was just curious. I mean, that was a lot of slander to be thrown out there.
Don't hate. I mean, it's about usual for me, Ditch.
Okay, that's fair.
It's about usual.
So I know you famously did not like Multiverse of Madness, Jamie. That's why we're talking about things you hated.
Damn, why would you do that?
Because I was already jumping towards you.
He was like this.
It was in between here, but I definitely had it like that.
So back to the topic at hand.
But famously, so what type of does this give you any confidence for the upcoming Avengers movies?
I am going to be what is the phrase I'm looking for? Cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
I'm bringing it back. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. The things that I really liked about Multiverse of Madness, like I kind of liked some of the horror elements that they included and kind of being a little bit more mysterious in that way. I also, even though it was like kind of jarring, I kind of liked like a little bit of the goofiness that they added to it with some of the like the different multiversal, like not really glitches, but just some different things that they did there. So I think if he can incorporate more of those things into the Avengers movies, then I think we'll have something that we can really enjoy. Because Marvel also hasn't really like jumped into like, I guess, different categories when it comes to the Avengers movies, or really just like the MCU in general. It's usually like action comedy, and that's about it as far as the genres go. We might see like a little bit of like I guess a scare or two, but we didn't really dive into as much horror as I feel like we did with Multiverse of Madness. So putting my thoughts about that movie aside, I feel like this could be an opportunity for him to kind of like learn from what worked and what didn't work from that movie, and kind of take what worked, put it into these new Avengers films, and whatever didn't, make sure that is nowhere near these films. So yeah, I'm gonna stay cautiously optimistic. Everybody misses every once in a while, so let's hope that he can set the record straight.
But as Jamie famously said, good is subjective.
Good
That
is
also
subjective.
true.
Good is subjective.
I do also want to make sure
I don't know if I
correct
famously
myself.
said that, but
I don't remember even
She
infamously
literally
saying
just
it.
said that today. That's
I
why
did.
remember.
I mean, it was Discord, so it was
All
like
right.
locally famous.
It's famous to me. As long as I say it, it's famous.
Um, I won't. First, I want to correct myself. I called him Mark Waldron. His name is Mike
Mike,
Waldron.
it's funny. I'm looking up Mark Waldron. I don't see a Mark Waldron.
I definitely looked it up afterwards because I wanted to make sure I had some of the other stuff that he had written.
I'm like, damn it. I'm sorry. Oh yes, it's Mark.
But yes, his name is
Michael
Mike.
Waldron.
Yes, Michael
Damn.
Waldron. So I do want to make sure I
Apologies.
correct that. Our apologies. I will
Yeah.
take the full blame on that.
I'm sitting here like, where is it?
Man, let me tell you. But I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness, so I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, I was
too,
like,
actually.
it's a win for me. I know a lot of people they didn't enjoy it.
I think it was expectations.
I was just about to say that there were a lot of expectations that I think were unfairly put on that movie.
Yeah,
everybody. It seemed like every character ever graced the screen was going to show up in that movie.
Yeah.
If you listen to
the rumors were insane.
Let me tell you, it was insane.
See, it's interesting because for me, that wasn't why I didn't like the movie. What I really didn't like was the main premise of it, which is like, this is a Wanda Doctor Strange movie, but Wanda's going through pretty much all the things that she went through in WandaVision. And when we talked about this on GVN with Jayla, she was like, well, like grief and like depression, I guess, works in different ways. Like, it could be cyclical, like you can kind of go back. And I'm like, sure, let's say that this is kind of a cyclical thing. We're going back, like she's going back through it, but we didn't really acknowledge any of. Well, I feel like there was very little acknowledgement with what happened in WandaVision, and then what happened with Multiverse of Madness. And I can't remember who wrote it, but they were saying, or is it Mike Waldron that wrote?
Yes.
Multiverse? Yeah. So he didn't even watch WandaVision. So
I will say that is a very huge issue, and I was gonna bring that up too. I do hope that this time he does obviously read, watch, do whatever for the stuff that is leading into it, because
I mean it's the culmination, so you better.
To what Jamie just said, it is something that was very much a flaw of Multiverse of Madness that you can't refute no matter how much you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It made WandaVision feel almost like it was unnecessary.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that it also had to stand alone because some people did not watch the show, and I understand that logic.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing with her becoming bad again was that as soon as she had the Darkhold, I knew that she was going to get corrupted. That's how I looked at it. So as soon as I saw it, I knew it was not going to last. Her being snapping out of that, she wasn't bad to begin with. She just that part was all trauma, But her turning evil,
you kind of put an entire city as a hostage. You kind of you're bad.
She did it unwillingly. Like a lot of it was she didn't realize she was doing it. It was when she went
bad.
Yeah, but I'm saying at the end of the day, she didn't try. She didn't want to really, but she did. And look, she just wanted to forget. She was like, whatever. Point is, for the movie, I truly believe it was the Darkhold that corrupted her.
Fair.
That's the point. Yeah, that's why her fingers are black and all this extra shit.
I would have been cool if Wanda's like, I'm bad again, but it didn't go through some of the same things that she went through with WandaVision. Like if it was something different where she's like, oh, I want to achieve this other thing, or I have all this power, like somebody wronged me, I don't know, let's go after him. Then I would have been like, okay, cool, I guess
WandaVision, I don't know. I don't see it that way.
I don't think she has to be an angel or anything after WandaVision, but for her to go through WandaVision because she lost Vision, she lost her family, she wanted to create a family, and then she figures out okay, I can't go about it this way, this is wrong. Then we go into Multiverse of Madness where she's like, you know what? Never mind. I want this family. Vision doesn't have to be in the picture, but I want this family.
You need to show more of the corruption.
The corruption. Yeah, it should have been more.
You should have shown her losing it. Yeah.
Right. You shouldn't assume.
Yeah, or at least slipping or something.
Obviously,
I almost had what I wanted and I let it go. So I need to
Well, I think that's another thing. Her losing the kid. She created a family and created kids, and then they took it from her basically.
Yeah.
And that's why she gave into the corruption. You know what I mean? That's what to me.
It really was the post-credit scene for WandaVision was very much, when she heard the kid screaming "mom," and then you go into where she's at in Multiverse of Madness, and that was it. Almost felt like that was they were saying like that's all you needed. You heard her say "mom." She has the dark code. You know where we're going.
They
here.
assumed.
It was very bad.
Yeah. Because obviously, not everyone took it that way. Because we're arguing now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Mike's point here in the comments is very much prevalent. We do have a writer who ignored a very big portion of a character's arc,
but at also the same
for his
time,
last
you
movie.
have the producer. You're the head guy, and you let him do that.
That is also true.
They didn't have they didn't like give him materials beforehand as well, but now they're making me show
double checking his shit.
Right. So
I mean,
the process should be different now. Hopefully,
I agree. I'm just playing both sides here.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying it's not just him.
No.
I'm in charge. There
were a lot of failures that led to Multiverse of Madness not being received as universally as it did.
I kind of wonder, like, do you guys know what the general consensus was on Multiverse of Madness as to why people didn't like it? Because I know for me personally, it was the fact that the plot was too similar to WandaVision.
A lot of it was just the plot wasn't good. Whether they felt it was too similar to WandaVision, whether they felt that it made WandaVision unnecessary, whether they just didn't care for a Scarlet Witch story and what was supposed to be a Doctor Strange story.
I can see that.
It always led back to something was lacking with the plot.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
yeah. Most of what any complaints I heard from mostly were that they just didn't. They probably were confused by the point of it, I guess. Right. Or they were completely disappointed that there was not enough multiverse in a multiverse.
Also,
they're like, where the fuck is the multiverse?
Actually,
one place.
That too. I'm remembering now.
they went to a couple. I mean, they just
there were a lot of with the multiverse of madness.
I feel like they went to more. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it enough to have to want to argue for it. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I get you. I didn't care enough either, so I was like, sure. Look, as soon as they gave me the Illuminati, I was sold anyway. I was like a little kid in the king.
We got them for like 3 seconds, and then they were spaghetti.
But do you understand how epic that scene was, bro?
It was cool, but then he was spaghetti.
So yeah, but
Mike, before we get off this, to answer your question about which Rick and Morty episode that he wrote, it was The Old Man and the Seat. That was a season 4 episode. I can't remember which episode. I can't remember which episode in season 4, but I know for sure it was season 4.
I don't remember that. I mean, I've seen them all.
I don't remember much of the episode.
I couldn't tell you. Not by the title, I can't tell you.
No. I even reading. I was reading the synopsis. Oh, it's episode 2. I guess I could have looked over to the right. It's episode 2. But even reading the plot synopsis, I don't remember much of this episode.
The plot synopsis.
It is what it is. Let's talk Karate Kid. The Karate Kid. We're having this isn't a reboot, right? This is just a continuation. But it's a crossover continuation because Jackie Chan will also be in it. And there's an open casting call. So for all of you people out there who have your acting dreams, if you're young enough, I guess, probably, look out for that casting call. You can send your tape in, not to us, but, to someone. And maybe you'll be on the big screen.
We might watch it. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it and maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast, but
in the lighting here, you need to change that up.
It won't go much further than that. Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan recently.
Macchio.
Is it Macchio? I thought it was Macchio. I'd never heard him say his name. My apologies. Macchio. As you can see, I am not great with names, guys. I'm trying my best here. Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, they recently took to Instagram, where I saw the news. That they will be doing a new Karate Kid that is supposed to premiere December 13th, 2024. Actually, really shocked that we have a date already.
Wow, yeah.
But it will be directed by Jonathan Entwistle, written by Rob Lieber. And like I said, the other big thing is that there is an open casting call. Jamie, you going out for it? You about to go ahead and start working on your karate? Hopefully they're actually doing karate this time.
I enrolled in karate twice in my life, so good I did it twice. I could do it a third.
All right.
Just let me know. What's the age range for this role?
Actually, I don't know.
I mean, some people still look at me as a kid, so I could pass. It can work. Oh, come on. First, I was too young to say the comment. Too old.
It does say, so if we go to Karate Kid casting, I'm pretty sure you have to be, it just says young actors. I'm sure you have to be 17 to 23 or something like that.
Damn, why 23?
That's usually what they say.
Come on. I'm 24.
All right, hey. Bring your age down one. They won't know.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody needs somebody that works in the industry actually was saying, like, IMDb, LinkedIn, whatever, don't put your age anywhere.
Right.
Don't put your age anywhere because they will judge, which is sad, but it's true. So
first off, Joe, I would have jumped to you. We know Jamie's apparently gonna, audition for it. We'll see. Damn. No vote of confidence from
no money to you, Trayvon. Everybody else gets a cut.
It's harder to believe when you're taller than Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio.
Yikes! You're never beating the tall girl allegation.
I could be a tall Karate Kid.
I'm not saying you can't.
The Karate Giant. All right, I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision. Let's go.
Damn.
Oh man, that'd be fun.
I could be the enemy, like they don't even have to do a different camera angle or anything. Like I just walk up on set, like this is the angle. We got it.
All right.
That's
fair.
True.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's very true. Yeah.
So, as someone who hasn't watched Cobra Kai at all, Joel, sell me on this movie.
You've never watched Cobra Kai at all?
I haven't at all.
Have you watched any of the Karate Kid movies?
Yes, I've seen every Karate Kid movie. I just haven't seen Cobra Kai.
Even the Kung Fu Kid one?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you've seen the movies and not the Cobra Kai? You haven't seen Cobra Kai either?
Look, Cobra Kai started on YouTube Red.
Yeah.
I wasn't signing up for YouTube Red.
I wasn't either. I didn't see it there. It's on Netflix.
When it hit Netflix, I've already told you. I don't know. I get some type of weird, like when I have to catch up too much, I'm like, that's too much time. There's so much other stuff I can watch that is current. So I never watched. So
you can drink wine and watch it. It's like you don't have to stop doing what you love. You know,
I just sit at home and drink wine.
Damn wine though.
I don't like this insinuation.
Oh man! Buddy. Wow.
But look, Cobra Kai is fascinating. It's hard to explain because it's like they expand upon the lore of the original Karate Kid. They never really talk about the new Karate Kid because that's more modern day and a different country. Different country completely. So
let's see if this comes through, Ditch.
Oh yeah, I would love that. That'd be great. But yeah, it's just. They introduce a new cast. They bring back the original cast. Like they bring back obviously Ralph Macchio's character, and they bring back I can't remember the bad guy.
William Zabka.
Yeah, but like I forgot his name in the.
Oh, and
Johnny.
That's right. I know him the most from How I Met Your Mother. I'm not gonna lie.
But where do they know him from?
I know. I just said I know him the most from there.
I know, but I do recommend it. It's a really fun watch. It's just a fun watch, basically. It's one of those shows you can put on, and you don't have to overthink it. You just sit there and watch it, and let it enjoy the ride, basically. It's modern day Cali, and so it's like the return of the Cobra Kai, where they kind of bring it in as because they're the bad guys mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a role, almost like a role reversal there for a little bit, and then now it's kind of like back and forth. It's really cool, like how it's evolved from season 1 to now. I don't want to spoil shit but there's a lot.
Apparently, I'm watching the first season this weekend, so
yeah, there's a good start. This is the best time to start because you're gonna look. The fact that they're gonna do a movie with the original cast, well, at least the original main actor. I have no idea if anybody else from the cast.
That was actually gonna be my follow-up question. Do you think that this is tying in with Cobra Kai? Because this is the sixth and final season, right?
I hope we get some. Yeah, it is the final season coming up. I hope that there is some Cobra Kai characters in it.
Okay.
At the very least, and maybe even more of the new movie Karate Kid movie, whatever his name.
The one with
it's not karate. So that's another thing. So as long as they understand that what he was doing was not karate, and the only time they did karate in that movie,
will they?
Like, look, as long as they just show that there's a difference, and like people should not be calling that karate if it's not karate. That was a kung fu tournament at the end. It's just I just want that to be more out there. Like Jackie Chan took on the role of the Mr. Miyagi type character in that
Right.
one. I understand. And look, it's a great actor. I love Jackie. So it worked in whatever they were trying to do with that. But calling it Karate Kid always bothered me. But look, bringing that character in some capacity, I have no idea how that's going to work with Ralph Macchio's character. I'm like, we'll see. I thought it was a legit reboot, but if it's a continuation with both worlds, that's intriguing. At the very least, it's intriguing. That's it.
I am also intrigued. There isn't much information on this movie.
No.
All we know is that Ralph Macchio is going to be Daniel.
LaRusso.
And Daniel LaRusso, and we know Jackie Chan will be Mr. Han.
Mr. Han.
We know for sure that those two are going to be those two characters.
That's crazy.
And that's about it. Like crazy. I don't know if Jaden Smith is going to be in it. I don't know. I don't know if anybody from Cobra Kai is going to be in it. We just know that those two will be there. Jamie, was that enough to sell you?
I mean, I love Jackie Chan, so I would go see it for him.
There you go. I mean, that's perfect.
It won't be the focus, but
he won't. But you know, I feel like he adds his own little pizzazz to every movie that he's in, and he grew up in a time where, like, when they were doing stunts, like, you literally could have died that day on the set. So I don't think he'll be bringing that back, but maybe some like a little bit of that edge, so we see something that's kind of more, I guess, like the Hong Kong fighting style kind of thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to see, like, I feel like he'll have some kind of input as far as fighting coordination goes. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, I liked the movie that he did with Jaden Smith. So
I did too. It spawned one of my favorite gifts ever. That I hate this year. I want to go home. That's one of my favorite gifts to use ever. I use that a lot.
I'm looking forward to seeing whatever weird story they concocted, because it was unexpected. Because I heard they were doing it, and then I heard at first it was not going to be connected to the Cobra Kai show. So I'm like, I don't care as much, because I'm like, that's a reboot. So I'm like, whatever. But now if it is, like.
So to add fuel to that fire, it would make sense then why there would be zero plot details.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai, obviously season 6 hasn't come out yet.
Right.
If you start giving plot details, it does spoil season 6 almost a bit.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the final tournament Cobra will not. I like that. It could be a martial arts tournament, not a karate tournament. That could be interesting, having both styles go at each other. Like Mr. Han's whatever versus Miyagi-Do. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. So it would
Karate Kid's pretty old at this point, unless you're talking about Cobra Kai.
No, I think he's talking Cobra Kai. Are the first season episodes, are they regular length? I also assumed because they were on YouTube Red that they were going to be short episodes. That's also why I didn't watch.
They're not super long. You can get through a season fairly quickly. I think they're like 8 episodes, right?
Okay.
Like 30 minutes. Maybe.
Oh, they are 30-minute episodes?
I think so.
I'm not going to lie.
I don't think they're that. Yeah, 22.
22 that's 30 with ads and whatever. Yeah, 22 minutes. That's about what I expect. When someone says 30-minute episode. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like Jamie, you and I have some homework to do. We got to get through Cobra Kai so that way we can be ready, because again, this movie will be coming out December of next year.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts, because I really like it. So it's always nice to bring something I enjoy to y'all and see if y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, I gotta do some homework before I audition, so
yeah, you can't film out your audition and not know anything about Cobra Kai.
You never watched the movies, Jamie?
Oh wait, yeah, I did. I seen.
She just said she liked the one with Jaden Smith.
Yeah,
I saw the newer one. I think I saw 1, 2. Is there a third Karate Kid?
There's technically a fourth.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have seen the third. I definitely didn't see the fourth. I definitely didn't see.
That's the one with Hilary Swank, right?
That's the Hilary Swank.
Did she show up in Cobra Kai? Is that tied to the universe? I also saw that one. So.
Not yet. I mean, that could change. I don't know. But as of right now,
well, I mean, it would have to be this season. There's only one more season.
Again, I don't want to spoil it if it has not. Again, I don't know anything, but just in case. Oh shit! Guess who's here? That'd be cool. That's the last one for me. For that show, because everyone else seems like they've showed up. It's insane.
I'm getting two very different answers here in the comments. We're getting a "she needs to" with many exclamation points from Trayvon, and a "shh" from Mike. And I don't know if that "shh" is in the "we don't talk about that one."
I don't remember.
Maybe so. I don't
Well,
know. Who's to say?
We'll
who's to
see. I
say?
guess. Yeah, we'll see. I hope
When
so.
does season 6 come out?
I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
haven't given a date yet. It
I
wasn't. It
don't.
didn't show up during Geek Week.
I don't think so. I think they
Hmm.
mentioned
Ah,
it. They mentioned it probably, but
I
I was.
will. Yeah, I'll look quickly to
I don't think there was a.
see.
Usually, there's a trailer if it's coming soon.
Nope, it just says mid to late 2024.
There you go.
24. All
We'll
right.
see.
So we shall see. Our last topic of the day to round us out is the fact that the Naruto movie live action has gotten some new information. 10 years in the making, and we finally have a writer, Tasha Huo, who has written a lot of stuff. Let me pull up some of her writing. Will be pinning this, and I will tell you, I'll jump off right away. I'm not that excited. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still iffy on live action anime movies, or even shows. Netflix did it really well with One Piece, but they also dropped the ball majorly with Cowboy Bebop. Avatar looks great. Yu Yu Hakusho looks okay. So it's very much a mixed bag, and all of that is squarely on the hands of Netflix, who will not be the ones doing this. This is from Lionsgate, if I remember correctly,
Lionsgate, correct.
and they don't have the cachet that Netflix has sort of built up with their last offerings. So I
It
can't
could be good.
use it could be. It very much
Yeah,
could
that
be.
record is not that great.
But places outside of Netflix and their live action anime offerings have not been the best.
Hmm.
Jamie, as someone who is currently going through Naruto,
But not
how
watching.
I mean,
I'm
look,
about to
she can just
watch.
watch this instead, I guess.
Yeah, there
Are
you
you
go.
No,
Movie is canon.
are
no.
you are you excited that Naruto will potentially be hitting the big screen? Because I'm not sure if it's a still a movie or if they're gonna move it to a show or not. But are you excited for more live action anime?
Uh, Generally, no. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like you were saying, you listed a lot of anime projects, and the only one that's really been successful so far has been One Piece, in my opinion. Netflix is One Piece, and I also agree with you. Netflix's Yu Yu Hakusho looks like it could be good. It could be, but to me, it also has echoes of a lot of the previous like anime adaptation films that they've done that have not been so good. So I don't know. I I don't know like what needs to be done in order for these anime to be faithfully adapted, or like if you can't get all the aesthetics right and everything, because I feel like that's really a big part of the anime adaptation. Even if you don't get the story right, if it looks good, then at least people will be like, they landed that part.
Mhm.
um I don't know like what needs to get through some of these people's heads as far as like really making a good live action anime adaptation. So I can't say that I'm gonna be excited. I feel like the only adaptation that I would be excited for at this point is One Piece, because it has proven to be really good. And I feel like even from the outset, just looking at some like posters and like teasers and things like that, like, you know what, it feels like they got this down. So I'll give this project the benefit of the doubt, and I will wait until like I can't do posters anymore. Yu Yu Hakusho ruined that for me. So I'll wait until there's like a teaser or a
Fair.
trailer or something before I judge this. But I can't say I'm excited. I don't want to set myself up for heartbreak. I'll just say, I will probably be in a theater or watching it on streaming, wherever it might be, but I am not excited for this.
That's fair. So Joel, before I pass it to you, I do have some of the things that Tasha Woe has wrote. Obviously, she is probably most known for Red Sonja. I feel like that's the thing that's upcoming that you has the most excitement. She's also written for the Tomb Raider animated series that's coming out. And previously, she wrote 4 episodes of the Witcher Blood Origin miniseries. So, with that in mind, Joel, how does that impact your excitement or indifference towards this upcoming Naruto project?
I'm not. I won't hold anything I disliked against her. I'm different than most people with most things. I like live action adaptation. I like seeing animated things come to life or things on page come to life.
Mm-hmm.
It's my dream. Since I was a kid, when I read things, I always will imagine what it'd be like if it was real. Same thing when I watch cartoons. I'm like, this would be cool in like real life. Like
Fair.
this would be,
That's fair.
And I do the same thing with anime, even though sometimes it's very hard to imagine what that would look like in real life. Like One Piece would be the biggest. I'm like, I can't imagine how any of that works in real life, but they fucking pulled that
They
off.
did it.
Not easily, and there's so much more that they're gonna have to adapt. It's not gonna be easy to do. I think Naruto to me is easier to adapt.
Yeah, I think Mike was talking it in the comment.
Yeah, everything's in theory.
Oh my god!
It
I
really
had a
is.
kangaroo in your room, Joel. Like, what is that?
But Mike brings it up in the comments. Early Naruto is very easy to adapt. It really is just ninja shit with the occasional giant toad and fox. That is like that. That is it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So,
but you got to introduce Naruto.
Like, yes, but there's also anime isms that you have to like carefully navigate.
With early Naruto, not a lot. Like, it very much is ninja shit.
It is, but it's not like he's always doing that. Like, Naruto is a very goofy character, and with that comes some of the anime isms that sometimes it just doesn't translate well to the screen.
Are we starting with 9-year-old Naruto?
I would assume so. You're starting with the Land of Wave arc. Like, this is your first movie, and that arc is probably the easiest to adapt to start off. One, it tells the initial story, but at most, and spoiler, I guess if you haven't seen this 25-year-old or what is it, 21, 22-year-old anime, probably the most difficult is going to be to try to animate or try to do the water dragon jutsu. Like, that's probably your most difficult.
But if I imagine, I don't like to assume, but like I imagine a movie studio will have the budget.
Right, and this is Lionsgate. They're
right.
going to. This is going to be, to what Mike said again. Yeah, this is going to be a blockbuster theatrical release.
I think they're going to have the funds. For every adaptation that I've noticed with anime aesthetics, like Jamie was saying earlier, is for some reason is the hardest thing for them to get. It's like they can't see it. Like I don't know how hard it is. Make them look the way they're supposed to look, and people will recognize them. As soon as they recognize them, that's already a point in your advantage because that they like what they like. You never look, and you don't have to try as hard with other things.
It's crazy because like a lot of these things, like cosplayers have already been doing this for years. Literally, look at them. Mm-hmm. Look at what they've done. Hire a cosplayer.
Really I mean, some of them look fantastic. It's not that difficult. Like you want to tweak certain things to make them look a little more realistic. Fine, I'm not against that. That's why it's called an adaptation. But you can't veer too much, or else you're gonna lose people. You don't want to do that.
But I think even in that regard, again, early Naruto, even with the look of the world, is very easy.
I agree.
If the first movie is the Land of Waves arc, there's no real super fantastical stuff that you have to get across. And we're getting away from one, she's just going to be writing it. It's not like she's going to be in charge of putting the VFX, putting all of this together.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah. I still think it's hard because Naruto is a very long story. But if you're just gonna, let's say if that is the focus, like all right, Land of Waves, the arc, you gotta explain. You still have to explain who Naruto is, the giant amount of fucking friends he has. How many of them are you introducing? How many of them get in the forefront? Do you focus on Team 7? Do you do the introduction to Team 7? There's a lot of different things.
You do the 11. You do
the main 11. I agree.
You do the main 11. Yeah. You probably
Kakashi.
You're gonna get Kakashi. You're gonna get Guy Sensei. You're gonna get Kurenai.
Lord Third.
You're gonna get Lord Third. Right. Up to the point I think because I'm trying to think how far. I'm thinking, as much as I hate to say it, this movie will probably be 2.5, maybe 3 hours,
I doubt it gets 3, but maybe 2. Yeah, 2.
maybe
Yeah,
two,
30
two and a
seems like a lot.
half.
Yeah, not in your first movie. You don't want to go 3.
You never know.
Mm,
Um,
I know. I will not. I will not. Not for 3 hours.
but I don't know if it's just the Land of Waves arc. I guess that's like I think it goes into. So I'm sorry. I can start talk because Mike is just chatting and
No.
I do think it goes into the Chunin exam arcs. That's why I think it sort of you do introduce the 11 because I do think first half of the movie is the Land of Waves arc, and then the second half of it, you sort of end with the culmination of the Chunin exams. Because if anything, it
This
felt
is a
like
man.
a great.
Mike is a man that obviously thought this through before.
For sure, he has this already. He has this already. So, because obviously every movie is a trilogy now. So I'm looking at it. How do you sort of break the story of the first half of Naruto into your first trilogy? I feel like your first movie has to sort of end with the Chunin exam arc, and you go into
the beginning of the Chunin exams. I don't know if you do the whole thing.
Yeah, well, the beginning of it and sort of. Then that's when your second, your second movie can be the full Chunin exams, into Sasuke leaving, sort of, and then you start off with the retrieval probably, and so it's all in all. I say this to say that clearly I'm more excited than I led on to believe.
It's
I'm already trying to plot for it.
It's fun to think about. You're just worried they won't execute. It's normal. I get that. Yeah. We'll worry about just this one movie. My biggest thing is it's not a fear, but I am a little worried. It's more like how the other people are going to feel about it. Casting. Mm-hmm. How diverse will this cast be?
Casting,
if at all. And it's like, should they be diverse? There's a lot of question marks. You know what I mean? Like, how diverse? Like, is this a world full of Japanese people? Is it?
Yeah. I think when we were playing Fortnite, we were talking about it. I was like, for sure, they saw blonde hair, blue eyes, and Naruto's going to be a white kid. Right. But then Mike brought it to my attention that was the intention for Naruto all along. So that's going to be okay, I guess.
I'm not against that. I mean, he looks white. I mean,
he does for sure.
Yeah.
But it's a Japanese show, so I was just like, all right, for sure, he's an Asian person.
Well, that's my thing. Naruto, even though it's it is very Japanese because it's a ninja world, samurai ninjas. That's very Japanese culture, but it's a fake world. It's not also in Japan. Fair. You know, it's the land of fire. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like Bleach. It's in Japan. You know what I mean? Jujutsu Kaisen's in Japan. My Hero is in Japan. Like they say it in Japan. They're in the city. Naruto is technically a fake world, like One Piece. It's a fake world. They don't all have to be one race if they don't want them to be. So it's like, I'm very curious what direction they go with certain.
I think they have gotten a lot better with it in some of their most recent projects. Obviously, Hollywood's still going to be Hollywood at times, but it does seem like as long as the people in charge care, they'll do it right. And I think that's sort of where you leave off with this movie is we have to see who else is involved. We can, based off of what we know from Tasha Huo's writing, we can believe that the writing will be from somebody who cares.
Right.
But what does that mean for the director or just the producer, or all the other people involved? I think that's sort of where we're at with it. So the quote from Jamie from earlier, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Yep,
that's about all we can do for this one.
That's more than where I think we started, so I'm happy with that.
That is, well, I mean, it's 10 years in the making, so I'm actually shocked that we got to this point.
I didn't even know it was 10 years in the making. That's wild.
Yeah, from when they first announced it.
Yeah.
I'm a Dragon Ball Evolution refugee, so you know
we don't talk about that movie.
Yeah, I have scars.
It doesn't exist in our eyes.
It's pain.
There was no Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't talk about
that. Should be studied in school of what not to do. Major IP. That's what that should be. Don't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, let's talk about some of the stuff that we have been watching. Jamie, we will go to you first. You already gave us a preview with the fall of the House of Usher. What else have you been watching?
Yeah, outside of the fall of the House of Usher, let me go back through my list because I forgot everything. I've also been watching. Yeah, I've also been watching Ted Lasso. I've been.
Still?
Yeah, I really thought that I was like.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry, but I felt like she told me she was starting the season like 3 weeks ago.
Well, there's like 12 episodes, and they're all about an hour.
That's
Well, they're
fair.
like
That's fair.
45-ish.
I'm sorry. That sounded very
I thought it was
judgmental of me.
shorter. It did sound judgmental,
She's
dude.
busy watching Kaisen.
But yes, yeah, I've also been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. It seems like that show just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And y'all know that, or at least I've said it before, that I like storytelling and kind of like the writing in anime more than I do like the fight scenes. So that's why Jujutsu Kaisen never really like grabbed me until the movie. I feel like the movie we really got to do like a great character study and get to like build up that world a little bit more. So season 2 has definitely brought some of that. But the past few weeks, it's just been like, who are we fighting next? Who are we going to attack? But this last week, oh man, I got hit with a truck full of bricks and knives and lemon juice. It hurts.
Joel, I need you to catch up.
Yeah, you should catch up.
I'm getting there. You know where I'm at.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's also, I don't know what's going to happen now with Mappa's having production, or really leadership issues, and a lot of the animators are.
Did you see the comment?
I saw your reaction. I'm like, what is you reacting to?
That was crazy.
Listen, I didn't say that Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime. Dragon Ball Z is my first anime, so it always holds like a little piece of my heart. There's nostalgia there. See, people just be coming after me like I'm just living my life. But
that was a funny comment. You should throw it up for the people who are not on YouTube watching so they can see, because that's a funny comment.
It's hurtful is what it is.
It is. I get you.
Where was I going with
this? We
were talking
Jujutsu Kaisen. Sorry.
Jujutsu Kaisen. It's been really, really good, but they're having some issues as far as leadership goes, where some of the animators have been walking out. They have been like mistreated for who knows how long. So I don't know if this week's episode will come out on time or like what will happen with the season. And that's unfortunately been my luck with 2 other anime this year. Actually, when Nier Automata got delayed for at least a month or so, and then they dropped just like the last few episodes, and that was just the first core of season 1. We're not even on the second core, which is scary. And then Zom 100 has also had some issues production wise, where they delayed starting from, I think it's episode 9, so episode 10 through 12 will be coming out closer to Christmas time.
I think actually on Christmas Day, because
on Christmas Day. Okay.
Just jumping ahead, yeah, I started it because I was like, oh, okay, I see some final dates, so I can start watching this.
Yeah. So as far as like anime goes, it's been a very odd year. Spy Family has been holding me down though. Spy Family's been good. I actually I had to pause the most recent episode. I was watching it earlier today, but like I was saying, today's been weird. I've been like kind of sleepy. But I woke up and like people was dying, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to go back. I need to rewatch. It's very crazy. This is what I wanted to see out of certain characters, so I'm glad I'm getting to see that now. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Fair. Joel, what have you been watching?
Oh man, I'll take out my list. Give me 1 second.
Oh god.
Excuse me, mention. No, I finished up a lot of things recently. Like I finally finished up Sex Ed in Netflix. I really, really liked that. That was really good. It's really good shit right there. But what I've been watching, I finally for all those Community fans out there. Gave Community a third chance.
How did you have to get through it? Wait, what?
I watched it 2 other times. I just couldn't get into it, and then they kept pestering me. So I'll give it another shot. And actually,
People do say the Community.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad. It's great.
I'm enjoying it. It took me a while, but I got there.
Disappointed.
I'm finally there, and I'm having fun with it.
I'm behind in a lot of after 2013-ish. I didn't really watch a lot of TV. I don't know why. I just didn't watch a lot of TV.
That's what I'm doing now, catching up. So,
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. I know you guys probably finished it.
The anime, yeah, we watched it. We watched it all in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm halfway through it. I'm on 5, so I'll get through it.
I really liked it.
I like it. It's very different than people probably understand. But I like it. I am watching Fargo. New season of Fargo started, so I'll be watching Fargo now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I like that show. Fargo's good. Every season.
What's Fargo about?
Ain't it just drugs? I don't know. Actually,
no, it's mostly weird crimes happening in North Dakota area, Minnesota area.
That's fair.
And there's just they're based on true stories, all of them.
Oh Lord,
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, and it's all about crazy shit that happened in Minnesota. I swear to God, it's the weird. Some of the shit is crazy. It's crazy, and you're like, wow, this actually happened to somebody. Yeah, for the most part, they said it. They changed the names and certain things to protect people's identities, but some of this happened out there. Some crazy stuff. So it's like the 5th season, I think, or 6th season now, and every season's different. It's like not one necessary. They all kind of connect, sort of, but they all also kind of don't, because you can watch
the same cast.
No, for the most part, it's different. I got different cast. But it's so far this season's been pretty crazy already. To start, and you're like, wow, but I like Fargo. Good shit. I've been watching Justified. That's an old show that I held back for a long time, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And I actually like it. Pretty good. Like it a lot. And I know the new one just came out, spin off of that. So I want to catch up to that one. I've been watching Upload on Amazon. We watched that one episode.
Yeah, we did.
We watched that one episode at Comic-Con, and my fiance thought it was a good idea to watch it from the beginning.
Nice.
So she started, and she's like, "You should watch it. It's funny." I'm like, oh, fine. And I'm on season 2 now. It's not bad at all. I've been watching Lawman Bass Reeves on Paramount Plus.
I heard that was good.
It is good, very good. Very
I don't have Paramount
show.
Plus, so
I get it. I get you, but
is it worth me using the trial for? I think I still have the trial if I haven't.
It's not done yet. If you want to wait,
let me know when it's done so I'll just pick up the trial and try to binge through it.
Binge out there, all right. It's not bad though. I like it so far. I'm watching Monarch on Apple.
It's great. It's great.
Crazy. Oh, this last episode is
I gotta watch the last episode, but it's been great.
It's so good. I'm like, oh, this is dope. So that's really good shit so far. And then my animes, like you guys already know, I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I've been watching Boruto, I've been watching Attack on Titan, Spy Family.
Yep.
And One Piece. I'm always watching One Piece, it seems.
Yeah, you'll never not be watching One Piece.
It's a good feeling. It's like a safety, but I think it'll never stop. Mike dropped that one the Wano arc that just ended.
Yeah.
It's whatever about it. I haven't even started that arc. It's longer than most shows exist.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's funny. It's all the JoJo part.
It's crazy. It's all of JoJo is in the Wano. That's how long it is.
Oh man.
And I'm 20 episodes from there, so I'm almost there. A little less than 20, I think, but man, the whole kick has been long. But yeah, that's where I'm at now with my anime.
Nice. To round us out, I have also been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a lot of trauma, a lot going on right now.
Past you.
Yeah, so I had to catch me up a feel good anime just to bring myself back down afterwards, and I've been rewatching Keep Your Hands Off Isaac and still. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good anime. It's about a high school girl who wants to create her own anime. So she has like an anime club, and it's literally about the antics of them trying to put together their own anime. It's so much fun. There's not a lot of episodes, but like I said, it's a feel good one that you can just sort of watch, and it's interesting. Yeah. I've also been watching, but we're catching up on Dr. Stone. My brother's caught up, and he's been telling me that this latest season is going crazy. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and catch up.
I saw a couple episodes, and like, yeah, this is going insane. So that's why I was catching up on Spy Family, so I could catch up on Dr. Stone next.
That's fair. What episode are you on?
I don't know the number. It's like, so they took the first core of this season ended, and I started the second core. I'm like maybe 3 episodes in.
Okay, so no, you are further than me. You are further than me, so you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so yeah, I'm catching up on that. I'm still rocking with Frerin. That's still going great. Yeah, I like that show a lot. It's great.
Okay. Yeah, I've also got that on my watch list. I'll come back to it.
It's a fun one. And then just outside of anime, I started that Formula One show that you were telling me about. The Drive to Succeed or whatever?
Yes,
it's really damn good.
It is so good. Really damn good.
So it's very you weren't good. The only person. It was funny. When you was telling me about it, like 2 days later, I went to brunch with one of my friends, and she was raving about it. And I was like, damn, all right, I should probably watch this. This is enough people who are talking about it. And yeah, you guys are right. It's so good.
Did you start with the most recent season, or did you start from the beginning?
No, I started from the whatever one came out in 2019, because I just started right from the beginning.
Oh, I didn't do that. I've seen the 2 most recent seasons, and then like I thought about going back to watch the first few, and I might, because there's a racer that he like wins early on, but I don't ever see him win, and he's like the only black driver. Okay, and so like I want to see him win. Okay, so I might go back to watch that. But
that's fair. Yeah, I figured when you were talking about it, I didn't know you had started like the most recent ones. So I was like, well, everybody's telling me I should watch it.
I didn't know there was more. I thought it started maybe 2-3 years ago, something like that. And 2019, I guess, or 2020, something like that.
Yeah.
I had no idea there was more seasons.
Yeah, I think there's 5.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Right. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much been a lot of my time, but I think we have taken up enough of everyone's time today. Before we get out of here, though, Joel, tell the people where they can find you and what they can support you on.
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Joel_J27. That's primarily where I'm at most of the time.
Nice. Jamie, same place. Where can they find you? What can they support you on?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly focus on gaming over here. So if you're into watching playthroughs, I just finished Spider-Man last weekend, actually. So I'm going to get started on Persona 5 Tactica. I always joke that I am contractually obligated to play a Persona game every year. Only reason
sounds legit.
When I started streaming, I've played a Persona game every year since I started streaming. So I might as well keep the streak going. So I'm planning on doing that. And I'm also planning on checking out Ocarina of Time. I have never played it before. And, the 25th anniversary just passed. So I'm like, you know what? This is perfect timing and inspiration for me to go ahead and try it out. So I'll be starting that playthrough shortly.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really shocked, actually. But no, yeah, it's
Breath of the Wild was my first Zelda game.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a little upset.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm distraught now.
Wow.
Don't be distraught. I played every Zelda game since Breath of the Wild, even like the spin-offs and remakes and stuff like that. But that's one of the reasons why I really badly want them to put out Wind Waker again, do a remake for Wind Waker, because I've never played Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. I'm like, damn, that looks like a great game. I've never touched it.
That's so shocking. Wow.
I know.
Well, on that note, you can find me at Dig_DEE everywhere. You can find the Geek Set Podcast at Geek Set Podcast everywhere. You can find the Chatter After at the Chatter After. You can find us everywhere. where you will be getting great episodes like this. Throw in a petition to say you want me to host again, especially if you enjoyed today. You get the chaos, the fun, all of it. But until
The
next time,
shade.
everyone, I didn't throw any shade. There was shade in the
I
comments.
feel like there was shade. You brought up the shade. You told me to bring up the shade.
Hey! That's what a good host does. We bring in chaos. We bring in fun. We bring in a little shade.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that hashtag Let Didge host. But until next time, have a good night, everyone.
See y'all.